So when you're selling your home, there are some things that you can do to make that handoff of your home just a little bit more warm for that buyer. This also helps ensure that for you that this is a really smooth transaction. So one thing I see a lot of sellers miss the boat on is getting their home professionally cleaned after they move out. Getting your home professionally cleaned and your carpet shampooed is just a really nice touch to show the buyer that you care about your home. If you are going to do it, make sure you let the buyer know that you're going to do it so that they don't also pay for those services and lose the value of what you did for them. If you have dates and records for the last time the furnace was maintained, the last time you changed smoke and carbon monoxide detector batteries, I think a lot of those are really, I know a lot of those are hardwired now, so it may not be the case, but if you do have battery operated ones for some reason still, letting them know if you've just changed the battery. So again, it's just one less thing that they have to worry about. Making sure all the light bulbs in your home are working. This is something that's valuable to you, even just preparing for market, because photos don't look great if your light bulbs aren't all on, but it's also just a really nice touch for the buyer for you to leave the home in the kind of condition that you would want to move in with it. Making a list and labeling all the keys for all the doors of the home, including a mail key if your mailbox is separate from your home, and making sure you write down where that mailbox is. Any codes you have for the home, such as an alarm code, garage door panel code, or front door code, are incredibly helpful for the buyer. Scrambling to find these things at the last minute, which is what I see in a lot of transactions, can add a lot of stress to both you and the buyer. And so making sure to have all this information documented up front is really, really helpful. Leaving your roll of toilet paper in each bathroom. Again, just an extra touch, not something you have to do, but absolutely something that's going to make your buyer's life a whole lot easier when they're moving in. One of the most important things we can provide to the buyer early on, and there are things about this that we want to give them up front, like what I'm about to say. Also, then there's things that, like the codes, for instance, that we wouldn't give them until closing. And so you can keep those things on separate lists, but they're definitely all important to include. Any phone numbers or services that you use. So if you have a pool and you have a specific person who maintains your pool, if you have a landscaping company that you love, if you have a cleaning person that you love, if you have any services that you have and love, if you have an alarm system, figuring out if that's transferable to the buyer and what it takes to do that so that we can make that a smooth handoff. Making a list of all your utility companies and contact numbers to help make sure that the buyer changes those things over into their own name promptly. If your home runs on propane, which doesn't happen in the areas we work mostly in, but there are areas we work in where that does happen, you want to make sure to let them know about how much that costs. Most buyers are not familiar with that. If your home is not well and septic, you want to make sure to share that last inspection. Some loan types are going to require that there's a well and septic inspection at the cost of the seller. It's valuable just to provide it anyway, usually up front when you're listing the home, because then it lets the buyer know that that's already been taken care of, and it's just one less thing to worry about. Ages of anything in the home. So especially your big ticket items, your windows, your roof, your appliances, your furnace, AC, water heater, anything like that has just been replaced is absolutely critical for them to have an idea of the age of those things as they're settling in and figuring out what needs to be done. If you have a company that comes out to service your furnace and AC every single year, make sure to leave that information on the list for them also. Any emergency services that you're familiar with, any community services, your homeowners association, put all those phone numbers on one sheet for the buyer, and it's just really, really helpful for them and gives them a warm and fuzzy feeling. Now, if this is something that we provide when you list your home, then it's going to absolutely impact how the buyers feel about your home, how the buyers feel about the way you care for your home, and potentially how much your home sells for too. And last but not least for today, I always like to say to recommend your favorite grocery store, your favorite nail salon, your favorite hair girl, your favorite restaurant. The buyer is going to love trying all of your favorite things when they move into your neighborhood. These are just a few of the things that we could think of that you could do to help make your buyer's transition easier and therefore make yours easier also. We have a list that we provide to our sellers that they can fill out so that they can have that ready for closing to make their lives a lot easier. But these are just a few of the things that you can write down to make your transaction as easy as possible.